Tonight on To The Point, are California's multi-billion-dollar homelessness programs working? Why a new audit is slamming the state. Plus, lawmakers introduce new legislation to fight retail theft.
Theft and retail crime were having a chilling effect on our communities.
But why is the local sheriff skeptical of their plan? A historic ruling in Arizona will soon criminalize nearly all abortions. The impact it could have here in California. And later in the show, the Rivercats are back in Sacramento tonight. How the A's temporary move here could impact their games. Thank you for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. $24 billion. Let that sink in. $24 billion. That's how much the state of California has spent on homelessness over the past 5 years. And now a new audit is highlighting that the state didn't consistently track the outcomes or effectiveness of the programs it was spending money on. It's estimated California has about 180,000 people experiencing homelessness right now. And right now, California funds more than 30 programs to tackle homelessness. In total, the audit reviewed 5 state programs. It found 2 programs were cost-effective: the state's Home Key program, which turns hotel and motel rooms into housing, and the CalWorks Housing Support Program, which provides financial assistance to families at risk of or experiencing homelessness. As for the other 3 programs, the audit says the state lacks clear outcome data. It also notes that some data regarding the number of program participants and bed inventory in the state system might not be accurate or reliable. Take a look at this graph of unsheltered placements from 2019 through March 2023. Just 14% of people were placed in permanent housing as opposed to temporary or interim housing. A large majority of those people ended up staying in some sort of permanent housing. The state auditor also reviewed homelessness spending in 2 major cities, San Jose and San Diego, and found both failed to effectively track revenues and spending due to the lack of spending plans. All of this comes as California voters have approved Prop 1. It authorizes the state to borrow nearly $6.4 billion in bonds. $2 billion of that is to create housing for the unhoused population. The rest would pay for new facilities for mental health and addiction treatment. And reaction from the state has been pouring in since the audit's released this morning. Even San Jose's mayor said that he hopes that this can spark change after auditors found that his city failed to effectively track spending due to a lack of spending plans.
State, county, and every city should have a uniform program for measuring the efficacy of these programs. We're committed to that in San Jose. That's why we've stood up dashboards to track our spending. And I'd like to see a uniform system statewide.
And we also reached out to Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg and Governor Newsom's office for a comment about the audit. They were not available today for statements. And another ongoing problem in our state, retail theft. We're feeling it at our stores, and we're also feeling it in our wallets. And now lawmakers, they are responding. Tonight, our Jeannie Nguyen explains the new bills announced today and how the Sacramento sheriff feels about it.
We've seen the videos, and some of us in person, smash and grabs and theft at our favorite local retailers.
Theft and retail crime were having a chilling effect on our communities.
On Tuesday, Speaker of the Assembly, the Attorney General, and a group of lawmakers announced 7 bills in a comprehensive package to address the issue. Among them, AB 2943, the California Retail Theft Reduction Act, would target serial retail thieves with a penalty of up to 3 years behind bars and provide rehab and diversion programs.
Making sure that we're not doing things that are going to result in people being put in prison for stealing a sandwich. I mean, we're focusing on these retail crime rings that are hitting stores over and over again.
AB 3209 would allow retailers to get a restraining order for up to 2 years following a conviction or more than 2 citations for theft offense. Other bills announced today address organized retail theft with resources for law enforcement and district attorneys.
These 7 bills will sharpen California's ability to tackle organized crime head-on, to address retail crime, to hold perpetrators accountable when they commit crime, to protect our communities, to keep our businesses safe.
A bipartisan effort, Republican Assemblymember Juan Alanis introduced Assembly Bill 1972 that would allow the CHP more resources at railroads to help combat cargo theft.
My bill adds railroad police to the task force and allowing the CHP-led task force to move more efficiently in the efforts by adding cargo theft to investigate and have the authority and their priorities.
Following the announcement of the retail theft package, Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper, who has been very vocal about fighting these crimes, says these bills confuse him and he wants to know why it's not going back to the voters.
The public has to stand up and say, hey, enough is enough. And I think we're headed that way. And it's election year too. Don't let that get lost on people. It's an election year. So like I said, why all this now? Why these 20-something bills this year?
Sheriff Cooper is referring to 2014's Prop 47 that reduced dozens of crimes, including nonviolent theft, from felonies to misdemeanors, making note that no law enforcement representation was at Tuesday's announcement. Regardless, the California Retailers Association president supports this comprehensive package at the Capitol.
Retailers want to be able to just sell our products. We want to deter retail theft from even coming into our stores. So I am very cautiously optimistic.
And many of these bills were heard in the Public Safety Committee today. They will still need to go through more hearings and votes before they could reach the governor's desk to be signed into law. And a bill aimed at protecting neighborhoods from sexually violent predators is moving forward in the Senate. And the bipartisan bill called the Sexually Violent Predator Accountability, Fairness, and Enforcement Act, or SAFE, was passed unanimously by a Senate committee today. So it would make public safety the highest criterion of potential placement of a sexually violent predator. It would also require the Department of State hospitals to take ownership in the placement process. And you may remember the state has been trying to place sexually violent predator William Stevenson in Placer County. Stevenson has a long history of sex crimes dating back to the 90s, and several residents have protested against this at council meetings. Now a location close to tribal lands is being discussed as a possibility, which is also getting pushback from the community. Tonight, a South Sacramento family is grappling with the loss of a father of two who was killed on Sunday. James Rankin's sister says that she had just gotten off the phone with her brother minutes before his death on Sunday. Sacramento police say that they responded to reports of a shooting on 27th Street out in South Sacramento. And when they got there, they found the 38-year-old had been shot, and he did die at the scene. Now, Sacramento police say the incident appears to be isolated between two known individuals. Details surrounding the case have his family puzzled.
How did he end up dead when, this is his godfather's house that he's at with two pit bulls in the front of the house, and him inside of the yard, and then he just ends up dead.
Investigators say they've spoken to everyone involved and no one has been arrested. The family is planning a vigil tonight, and it will be at the intersection of Woodbine and Hinge Avenue. This is the same location where the father was killed, and they say that everyone is welcome to come by and, of course, join the family. One man is also dead and a woman is seriously hurt after a car hit them on Fruit Ridge Road near Ethel Way this morning. It's not clear what led up to the accident, but the driver did stay to talk to officers. No information has been released on the victims, but we do know that a wheelchair was left at the scene. And a group of local mothers is continuing their fight to raise awareness about fentanyl. They unveiled a new billboard ad over Highway 99 near Calvine Road out in Elk Grove, and it shows loved ones who were taken too soon by fentanyl. And you may remember the one put over I-5 in North Natomas just last month. It's all part of an effort in conjunction with the group Drug-Induced Homicide to hold those responsible for distributing the dangerous substance accountable. And there are new rules in Sacramento County regarding fireworks. So first, the window for fireworks sales is shorter. You can purchase them starting at noon on June 28th through July 4th. And fireworks will now be prohibited between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. during the selling period. And this includes state-approved fireworks. The county also increased fines for fireworks used in schools and in parks. All right, let's take a live look right now at Sutter Health Park out in West Sacramento. The Rivercats are playing tonight back at home, and this is the first time since the announcement that their park will host the A's starting next season. So we'll have reaction and more coming up a little bit later in the show. All right, still ahead onto the point. A 160-year-old abortion ban will soon go into effect in Arizona, limiting nearly all abortions. The impact that this could have on California.
We are tracking a lot of changes in our forecast. Some of the warmest weather that we've seen all year, but more rain and snow still ahead.
Plus, a local electric company could be raising their rates. What's on the table and when it could take effect? All right, let's get a check of our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods. Absolutely beautiful day outside today.
I know, Chamber of Commerce kind of day. And we got the Rivercats. I love this. It's just such great baseball weather out there for today. Clear skies outside for this evening, as well as the start of tomorrow. We're going to pick up some cloud cover coming in off the coast. That's not our rainmaker. That doesn't come until a little bit deeper into our forecast. For tonight, we'll continue to see those beautiful conditions holding in the 70s at 7 p.m., dropping into the 60s as we head towards the midnight hour, and our forecast low right about 50. Our temperature trends certainly on the way up here. Average high about 70 degrees. We were sitting very chilly over the weekend outlook, and then we started to warm things up here for the work week. Still even warmer conditions than what we had for today for our midweek outlook, including Wednesday and Thursday. Highs for today in the 70s up and down the valley, awfully close to 80, 71 for San Francisco, 60s to near 70 in the foothills, and close to 60 up top for this year. And now for some of us, this was the warmest day of the year so far, including downtown Sacramento at 80, Sacramento Executive at 78 degrees. Stockton and Modesto just shy. In fact, Modesto, our warmest temperature so far, 77 back on March 19th. We've got some weather changes ahead. Warm midweek outlook, cooler for the weekend, including rain showers and thunderstorms, as well as Sierra snow. So we peak that heat for tomorrow and then get that big blast of cold air coming in Saturday into Sunday. It's going to be another chilly and showery weekend for us. It all gets going late on Thursday through the northern Sacramento Valley, and then things will start to become more widespread during the day on Friday. That will result in more rain and snow in our forecast. And let's take a look at our 10-day outlook as we head into the weekend. It is going to be cooler after some unseasonably warm weather midweek. Showers develop on Friday late in the day, continuing on Saturday. Looks like a dry end to the weekend, though.
Next, on To the Point, a historic ruling on abortion rights, what it could mean for this year's election, plus a push to increase utility rates in Roseville, how much it could cost you. And we're getting you prepared for tax day, the new changes you need to know about before filing. In a historic decision, the Arizona Supreme Court upheld a 160-year-old law that will ban nearly all abortions in the state. The law dates all the way back to 1864. Doctors or others could be prosecuted for performing an abortion at any time unless the mother's life is in danger. This does not include exceptions for rape or incest, and anyone found guilty of violating the ban could face 2 to 5 years in prison. There is a 14-day stay on the law while the lower courts decide how to proceed. And this is what abortion rights and access looks like right now across the country. Arizona's current law, a 15-week abortion ban, is considered very restrictive by the Guttmacher Institute, who advocates for reproductive rights. But 14 days from now, when Arizona's century-old law goes into effect, the state will have some of the most restrictive reproductive rights in the country, alongside states like Texas, Alabama, and Mississippi, where there are already bans with almost no exceptions. And Arizona lawmakers are reacting to the ruling, and this could have an impact on the November election. Tonight, outrage from Arizona's Democratic Governor, Katie Hobbs.
And the near total Civil War era ban that continues to hang over our heads only serves to create more chaos for women and doctors in our state.
Under the new abortion ruling, doctors who perform abortions could face up to 5 years in prison. Frustration from Arizona lawmaker Eva Birch, who recently had an abortion after her pregnancy failed.
A couple weeks ago, I had an abortion. A safe, legal abortion here in Arizona for a pregnancy that I very much wanted. Somebody took care of me. Somebody gave me a procedure so that I wouldn't have to experience another miscarriage, the pain, the mess, the discomfort. And now we're talking about whether or not we should put that doctor in jail.
In today's ruling, the Arizona court referring 22 times to the U.S. Supreme Court's decision overturning Roe v. Wade. Donald Trump has boasted of appointing 3 of the 6 justices who overturned Roe. Yesterday, he said states should make their own laws when it comes to abortion. President Biden says what that means is that Trump supports state bans like the one in Arizona, which Biden today called extreme, dangerous, and cruel. Biden and Trump both know that abortion rights has won in all 6 states where it has been on the ballot, including in conservative states like Kansas, Kentucky, and Ohio. So what does this mean for California? Today, Planned Parenthood in California released a statement that said, in part, this ruling by the Arizona Supreme Court is cruel. We are committed to continuing to serve patients forced to travel outside of their home state to access abortion care, and will fight alongside the people in Arizona for their reproductive freedom. In your price points tonight, the Roseville City Council has voted to move forward with a proposal that could adjust Roseville electric utility rates. The changes include making the temporary 8% surcharge implemented last year permanent, and there could also be 2 9% base rate increases. Roseville's electric utility says that the increase in energy costs has created challenges, and the utility company also says that it does recognize the increase could impact low-income customers. They also say that the proposal increases discounts for some lower-income customers and for medical support programs. Now, City Council will still need to vote on the proposal. And the deadline to file your 2023 income taxes is quickly approaching. There are some changes to this year's tax credits and brackets, so here's some few things that you need to know before you file. Tax day is April 15th, which means you either have to file your taxes or file an extension by midnight Monday.
You should note, though, that payments are due April 15th, so if you need an extension, that's just an extension to get the paperwork in. It doesn't shift your financial responsibility.
Penalties and interest will apply to late payments. Before sitting down to file, gather documents that report your income, investment account statements, and any financial forms that show deductible expenses like your home mortgage. You can use free or low-cost software to file on your own.
I'm actually of the mind that most people can do their taxes on their own. Software's come a long way in recent years. And, that's the key. You don't need to sit down with like a calculator and a pencil.
If you decide to use a professional tax preparer,
just make sure that you do your homework. Make sure that it's somebody who's going to be there after the 15th of April if you have any questions.
Anyone who prepares taxes for money must have a preparer tax identification number.
And they must sign that return and put their PTIN number, which you can go to irs.gov and look up and make sure that PTIN is correct and it matches that person's name.
There are some changes for this filing season compared to last year. Due to inflation, the IRS increased the standard deduction. Tax brackets were also adjusted. Under the Inflation Reduction Act, there are new clean vehicle credits that kick in this year.
New this year, you can get a credit for used electric vehicles of up to the lesser of 30% of the purchase price or $4,000.
And the home energy tax credits have been expanded.
So before there was a lifetime credit only, and that was up to $500. So you could only get that $500 in a lifetime. Now it's up to $1,200 per year.
There's been buzz about changes to the child tax credit, but as of right now, it's the same as last year. If the credit is expanded and your taxes are impacted, the IRS will adjust your return and refund. So don't wait to file. Next on To The Point, the Rivercats are back in West Sacramento tonight after the A's announced that they are moving to their home stadium. Last week, the A's announced that they will make West Sacramento's Sutter Health Park their temporary home next season. And now the Rivercats are back home to play tonight. And our Devin Truby joins us live from there as we learn more about the impact that this could have. And Devin, what are we learning about the future of both games in the stadium?
Well, Alex, the first pitch just went out at Sutter Health Park for the Rivercats to a stadium full of, I would say, mixed fans. Now, we know starting in 2025, the Athletics, no longer Oakland Athletics, will call Sutter Health Park home for 3 seasons with the potential for a 4th. But here's why fans are mixed. On the benefit side, this is Sacramento's opportunity to show we can be home to a Major League Baseball team. Baseball fans rejoicing at the fact that there's basically games going to have to be played here every single day during the summer to accommodate both teams. Major League Baseball and minor league baseball saying they're going to work incredibly hard to make sure that both teams have dedicated facility space and have their dedicated schedules so there's no overlap. But on the negative side, we hear that Rivercats fans are concerned they're the home team and they're going to be pushed out and not enough space for them. Take a listen to what else fans had to say.
I'm happy. It's exciting. It sucks for Oakland. I feel for them as a Kings fan, but it's exciting times for Sacramento.
I think it's great. We're Boston fans, but We like to root for the home team.
Yeah, I think they're a failed franchise and a kind of failing city, and I think the change is what they need. All of the renders they made in Vegas so far don't seem like they're going to be successful, so coming out here is the only real chance they have to have a new home that's decent.
Ooh, a stinger from that Red Sox fan there, but as attendance stands right now, there is room for both fans from both teams to fit inside the park. Average Oakland A's attendance about 10,000. Average Rivercats attendance less than 5,000. Capacity here 14,000. So right now, fans from both teams could fit inside, Alex, but we'll just have to wait and see how ticket sales go.
All right, Devin, thanks for the update and some hot takes there. All right, thank you so much for making us a part of your day. If you have something you think we should be looking into, make sure you reach out to me and the team. Remember, strangers are people we just haven't gotten the chance to meet yet. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.